Fellow friends and neighbors, it is day 17 of VEDS, and today is Thoughts Thursday. As the name implies, today is just going to be a day where I share with you my thoughts on a particular subject, hopefully one that doesn't involve produce-related reality shows. No, today I am going to be talking about something I've been thinking about a little bit lately, and that is my ultimate recommendation list. So if you watch my reviews on BankyKitty408, and I think most of you watching this channel do, you know that I use a worth meter to rate the things that I review, and the very highest rating that any story can receive is the ultimate recommendation. The ultimate recommendation list is an idea that I got from my sister Cassie, and it's basically a list of books, movies, what have you, that you would recommend to absolutely everyone. Not your favorite books, not even what you would consider the best books, well maybe what you would consider the best books, but the books that you think that everyone not just should read, but needs to read. Like if you had your way, you would require everybody to read these books. And it could be movies, plays, video games, whatever, but today we're mostly going to be talking about books because that's the ultimate recommendation list that is most solidified for me. So I have a list of every book that I've ever given the ultimate recommendation rating to, and therefore every book that is on the ultimate recommendation list, and at present, that list is 14 books long. If this is as high as I can possibly rate a book, it should really be more exclusive, especially if we're going to call it the ultimate recommendation list. So I decided to revamp my ultimate recommendation list, at least as far as books are concerned, and I'm establishing 3 rules for the list. Rule number 1, at any given time, there will only be 5 books on the ultimate recommendation list. Rule number 2, in order to get onto the official ultimate recommendation list, I will have to read a book more than once. This is just to make sure that I'm not putting something on the ultimate recommendation list in the immediate aftermath of having read something and being caught up in the emotion and all that sort of thing. This will give me time to reflect and then go back and read again to see if the book still holds up. And rule number 3, and this one might seem a little strange, but hear me out. An author can only have 1 book on the ultimate recommendation list. Now, I have a couple of reasons for making this rule in particular. First of all, if I didn't, my entire ultimate recommendation list would be Marcus Zusak and John Green. But second, I think that when you are recommending a book to somebody, you're also implicitly recommending that author's work. This isn't always going to be the case, but in many cases you are also recommending that author. And I feel like if you're recommending an author, you're going to want to recommend the very best of the best first. And so we put the best of the best on the ultimate recommendation list and then allow the reader to continue from there. So with that being said, here are all 14 books currently on my ultimate recommendation list. Minus Paper Towns because we loaned out our copy of Paper Towns that hasn't been returned yet, and so standing in for Paper Towns is going to be my copy of The Time Traveler's Wife. So first things first, I'm going to take out a couple of books that I do want to eliminate from my ultimate recommendation list just because they didn't stand up to a second read, so this one, and this one. And now we are left with 12. The next step is to take out all of the books that I have only read once. Pretty simple. I've only read this one once, I've only read this one once, I've only read this one once. I have, astonishingly, only read The Fault in Our Stars once, so I have to take that off the list. And now we are left with 8, a much more manageable stack, but we're not done yet. Now I have to eliminate the duplicate authors. I have 2 books by Marcus Zusak, and as much as I love I Am the Messenger, gotta go with The Book Thief on this one. And 2 books by John Green, Looking for Alaska and Paper Towns. Fortunately, The Fault in Our Stars I've only read once, and so this is a much easier decision than it might otherwise be. Looking for Alaska. Of the 4 books that I have left, I think that the weakest is probably There's a Boy in the Girl's Bathroom by Louis Sachar. Again, I love the book, I love the messages that it has, and I do think that many people should read it, but it doesn't quite make the cut compared to the other 3. So there we have it, 5 books for my ultimate recommendation list. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Looking for Alaska by John Green. The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. The Giver by Lois Lowry. And last but not least, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And that's going to do it for today's Thoughts Thursday. Thank you for joining me, and let me know what you think of my new ultimate recommendation list in the comments. I do have a little bit of unfortunate news, however. I said tomorrow was going to be Fictional Friday, but looking at my schedule again, it's kind of looking like I'm not really going to have time to do all the fictional characters and all that sort of thing. So that's sad times for tomorrow, but it's happy times for those of you who hadn't thought of a question yet to ask to a fictional persona, and now you have an extra week to do so. So continue to leave your questions to my fictional personas, any of them, and I will answer them next Friday. So until tomorrow, friends and fellow VEDSies, see you later. I did that in one take, I'm awesome!